off with strong conviction and such arms. When they saw him enter the chapter house, simple and clownish, and salute the assembly with a scrape, prior, canons, treasurer, and everyone burst out laughing. That was always the effect produced everywhere, that his honest grizzled face appeared, with its goatee and its somewhat vacuous eyes, so Brother Gaucher was not put about. "Your Reverences," he said in a good-natured tone, twisting at his olive-stone beads. "It's a true saying that empty barrels make the most sound. What do you think? By putting my poor brains to steep, though they're soft enough already, I do believe I have found the way to get us out of all our difficulties. It's this way. You know Auntie Bégon, the good woman who took care of me when I was little, God rest her soul, the old sinner. She used to sing some queer songs when she had had drink. Well, what I want to tell you, my reverend fathers, is that when Auntie Bégon was alive, she knew the herbs that grow in the mountains as well and better than any old hag in Corsica. And by the same token, in her latter days, she compounded an incomparable elixir by blending 5 or 6 sorts of simples, which we used to go and gather together in the Alpilles. That's many a year ago, but I think that with the aid of St. Augustine and the permission of our Father Abbot, I might, if I search carefully, recall the composition of that mysterious elixir. Then we should only have to put it into bottles and sell it a little dear, and the community will be able to get rich at its ease, like our brethren at La Trappe and the Grand. He had not time to finish. The prior got up and fell on his neck. The canons took him by the hands. The treasurer, even more deeply moved than any of the others, respectfully kissed the frayed hem of his cowl. Then each returned to his stall to deliberate, and in solemn assembly the chapter decided to entrust the cows to Brother Thrasybulus, in order that Brother Gaucher might devote himself entirely to the preparation of his elixir. How did the good brother manage to recall Auntie Bégon's recipe? What efforts, what vigils did it cost him? History does not relate, but this much is certain. At the end of 6 months, the White Father's elixir was very popular already. In all the Comtat, in all the Arles district, not a mass, not a farmhouse, but had at the back door of its spence, among the bottles of wine, syrup, and jars of olive picholine, a little brown stone flagon, sealed with the arms of Provence, with a monk in ecstasy on a silver label. Thanks to the vogue of its elixir, the house of the Premonstratensians got very rich rapidly. St. Pachomius Tower was rebuilt. The prior got a new mitre. The church grand new painted windows. And in the fine tracery of the steeple, a whole flight of bells, big and little, alighted one fine Easter morning, chiming and pealing in full swing. As for Brother Gaucher, the poor lay brother whose rusticacities used to amuse the chapter so, he was never mentioned now in the convent. They only knew the Reverend Father Gaucher, a man of brains and ability, who lived quite isolated from the petty multifarious occupations of the cloister, and shut himself up all day in his distillery, while 30 monks scoured the mountains in search of his fragrant herbs. This distillery, to which no one, not even the prior, had the right of entry, was an old abandoned chapel at the bottom of the canon's garden. The good father's simplicity had made it into a very mysterious and formidable place, and any bold and inquisitive monk who managed to reach the rose window above the door by scrambling up the climbing vines promptly tumbled down, terrified at his peep of Father Gaucher with his necromancer's beard, stooping over his furnaces, hydrometer in hand, and all around him red stone retorts, gigantic alembics, glass worms, a regular weird litter that glowed as if enchanted in the red gleam of the windows. At close of day, when the last stroke of the Angelus sounded, the door of this place of mystery was opened discreetly, and his reverence betook himself to the church for the evening office. You should have seen the reception that he got as he traversed the monastery. The brethren lined up as he passed. They said, "Hush, he has the secret." The treasurer walked behind him and spoke to him, bowing deferentially.